It's time to get outrageous. Ohio State plays Illinois on Saturday in their second game against a ranked opponent this season. I know Texas is not ranked now, but they were ranked number 1 in the country when Ohio State played them. It's funny. They only play ranked teams who wear orange. That's crazy. What does that say about the rest of their schedule?
Look out for Tennessee in the playoff again? I don't know.
Oh, God, I really don't want that. I'm okay on that.
Yeah, who else could they play in the playoff then if it's Tennessee? Syracuse is cooked. Okay, there it is.
We're going to save that one for the national championship game, though, because that would be so much fun. These are outrageous predictions, though. Stefan, you go first. Get crazy.
Yeah, my outrageous prediction is that in the playoff they would play other ranked teams before they got to Miami, so we don't have to worry about that quite yet. On Saturday you'll see our Game Time Decisions video where I talk about Ohio State's defensive line against Illinois' offensive line and how important of a matchup that is. I think it's an important matchup because I think Ohio State's defensive line is going to feast. So my bold prediction is that Caden Curry halfway through the season is going to be on pace for 16 sacks for the regular season because he is going to have 8 when he walks out of Champaign. He's got 5 going into there. Indiana feasted on a bad Illinois offensive line. They had 7 sacks in that game. Now, it wasn't just one guy, dominating. I think I think Tucker for them had 2 sacks, and the rest of the guys kind of sprinkled in a sack, half a sack, stuff like that. I think Caden Curry is just going to go off. I think you look at the stats, you probably say, hey, we got to worry about this guy. You can't afford to do that with Caden McDonald and Kenyatta Jackson and Bo Atkinson and Zion Grady. Like, you can't. There's only so many guys you can put on Caden Curry. I think he's going to get after it. I think he's going to have 3 sacks in this game. I just think it's going to be total dominance from Ohio State's front, 6, 7, whatever it looks like. And Caden Curry's going to lead the way on that charge. So 3 sacks for Caden Curry.
Again.
So
essentially, in your mind, every time they play a Big Ten team on the road, he's going to have 3 sacks.
That could make for a hell of a Heisman campaign.
I'm not going to shoot you down. Andrew, get crazy.
Julian Sand, 4 bills. Julian Sand throws for 400. I think
Welcome to the party.
we all watched the Indiana-Illinois game. Fortunately for us, it was on Ohio State's bye week. So, you know where I was? I was seated on my couch, and I said, this is going to be a really fun game. And I turned on the game, and it was a fun game for about 10 minutes.
I was at dinner. It was my girlfriend's birthday, so we were out. Where were you, Stefan?
I was in section 111.
Great. I remember watching that game and thinking, this should be a really fun game. And Indiana blocked a punt. I think Illinois scored right after that. And I went, hey, this is going to be really fun. And then Fernando Mendoza absolutely torched Illinois. And we have talked so much about Ohio State playing slow, and maybe they're slowly starting to open it up, and that's totally fine. I think Ohio State can play slow, and Julian Sand might still cook. And that is why I think he's thrown for 400. I think about this game, and I know Illinois, they've had some injuries in the secondary this year. Like, you look at the way that Ohio State has played, and I wonder if, hey, we're going to play it slow, and let's throw a 10-yard into JJ, and he just houses it. Or, hey, we're going to play it slow, but, oh, look, Carnell Tate's open on a go. I think that might be in the cards for Julian Sand this week. So Ohio State can have this plan of just, hey, take it easy. Don't go over the speed limit. We don't need to. We can win this game 35-14 if we need to because our defense is so good and blah, blah, blah. That might not happen the way that they want to because they might be too explosive to stick to the plan that they thought they had. So Julian Sand throws for 400 yards, his first time in his college career that he throws for 400 yards. And I think we are going to start to see some real legitimate Heisman buzz start for Julian this weekend in Champaign, Illinois. I think depending on how many of those yards go to JJ, we could also see him kind of take that leap as well. But I think Julian Sands, I think he's primed for a big one this weekend.
Accidental explosiveness. That is the Ohio State offense in 2025. I got more stats, more numbers. I feel like every week I pull my phone out to show you these numbers. Brennan Ennis has 10 targets this year. He's caught 9 of them. The one he didn't catch was the slot fade against Texas. That is the least amount of targets that an Ohio State slot receiver has had through 5 games since Ryan Day showed up in 2013. The second least amount is KJ Hill, who had 23. Targets heading into Game 6 in 2019 in a year where KJ Hill didn't come off the field, but they were also running the ball a little bit more. That's not what's happening here. What we've seen instead is JJ gets the ball, and then teams start doubling JJ. So now Carnell gets the ball, and then team starts doubling Carnell, and then Max Clare has now gotten involved in this offense. There is one interesting piece of this offense who has not gotten the ball in any form or way possible whatsoever, and that's Brandon Inniss. And what it has done in the meantime, it's created a conversation, at least on social media, of whether or not he's the guy who should be starting in the slot receiver spot. People have wanted to see other people, but also it's shined a brighter light on his mistakes in special teams, whether it's the fumble, whether it's the way he fielded some punts. And I think it's gone overboard one way or the other in terms of the criticism of a guy who also is not getting the opportunities on offense that some of his counterparts are getting. And I was watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Seattle Seahawks game on Sunday, you know, when Jackson and Emeka decided to essentially give Brian Hartline another recruiting, pitch that he could use. And I'm thinking, those are the last two dudes who played slot receiver here. That's what they're doing. Is that missing from Ohio State's offense? Like, is there a quality problem, or is it just an opportunity problem? And I'm wondering, as they continue to show more and more of this offense, is it finally going to be Brandon Inniss' turn to get the opportunity that slot receivers have always gotten here? They've always been such a vital part from a high usage position in this offense, and right now it's just not. So my outrageous prediction, for the sake of hammering my point home, is 10 catches for Brandon Inniss. He's got 10 targets right now. He's going to double that by the end of Saturday's game, where he's going to have 10 targets and he's going to catch all 10 of them. Maybe he even gets one of the touchdown catches you're talking about there, Andrew. But it's just the slot receiver position right now is not a productive position in terms of the ball in the guy's hands. And I know that's got to be a little bit frustrating for a highly recruited guy who thought he was finally going to get his opportunity now, and that has just not been the case. Maybe his opportunity is on Saturday. 10 catches for Brandon Inniss as the slot receiver finally gets his opportunity. And Jeremiah Smith talked about him as if he was a dog, and I guess we'll find out on Saturday if I'm right or not. Stefan, Andrew, I'm Steven. Those are our outrageous predictions. Ohio State, Illinois on the road, number 1 versus number 17. Get the text 614-350-3315. 2-week free trial, $3.99 after that. And go listen to Buckeye Talk. We go live on Wednesdays. We go live before the game. We have a post-game pod. We have a lot of things going on. We have a fun time over there. See you after the game.